And let's come into hands and knees. Let's start on hands and knees. And we'll just give ourselves a little wiggle around. So about 1.5 minutes of free-form movement. We're going to develop a sun salutation over the next little while. So just get all the bits that need to wiggle, get them all wiggled out. It's nice to have a moment in all of the places, even in a cobra, just to make sure that the spine's feeling capable of doing that type of back bend. If it's not, you can do soft things, making sure that the hands are ready for taking some weight through the arms. Add a down dog so you get a bit of a stretch in the legs and some decompression in the neck. And then let's do some strategic stretching. So tuck the toes under and bring the weight of your buttocks down onto your heels. So you've got the stretch across the balls of the feet and the toes. And then we're going to nod fists. And so bring fists into your hands and nod them very slowly. And then roll at the wrists, allowing the forearms and the muscles around the wrists and hands just to warm up and move around. Slide and glide is what we're after. And then we'll get off our toes and pat through our feet so we can recover into the toes. So bring the feet together, heels together, and sit back again. We'll do some finger stretching next. And so we're going to just do 2 fingers, the thumb first. So we've got point through the toes sitting onto the heels. We're going to pull our right hand thumb. So we'll pull from the underside and just pull back, giving yourself that stretch across the thumb joint, across the palm. And then pull the middle finger. So those 2 fingers are pretty much getting the whole wrist, forearm, hand, palm. And then you can shake that hand out and we'll do the other side. So pull the thumb. And then release the thumb and pull at the middle finger and really open the wrist as you pull the middle finger back. And then we'll take our hands back onto the mat, turn the fingertips out. So you're at hands and knees, but the fingertips are shining out, and we'll rock from side to side, just giving hands and wrists an extra stretch. All right, come back into a tuck-toed child's pose, hands out front, so kind of an active child's pose. The hands and the arms are activated, spread through the fingers, broaden through the shoulders. In this active child's pose, just take a couple of breaths to engage the mind-body breathing, that the mind is entirely fascinated by the breathing. Notice that you're broad across the back body as you breathe in. All right, let's start to move and breathe. We're going to inhale into a half plank. So inhale, half plank, and then exhale, bending your elbows straight back all the way down onto your belly. Point through toes, inhale into the cobra. Doesn't have to be high, just whatever you feel is good. Exhale, slowly release yourself down. And then inhale, push back up, straight back to half plank, push. And then exhale, buttocks to the heels. So we're doing a very Godfrey Devereux style dynamic yoga approach. Inhale, half plank. You can keep your eyes closed by now if you want to. Exhale, elbows go straight back. You're going all the way slowly with control to the floor. Point through toes, inhale, cobra. Doesn't have to be high, just pushing up And then slowly lowering down, slow descent. And then push back to half plank push. Exhale, buttocks to heels. Add a little whisper on the breath by now. So inhale, half plank, spread the fingers. Exhale, slowly lower, slower, slower. And then into the cobra. Make the movements and the actions as smooth and as slow as you can, especially the descent from the cobra back down to the ground. Inhale, push back up to the half plank, buttocks to the heels, exhale. Let's do 2 more rounds in our own time. We're trying to get the movements to be slow and controlled, to be smooth. The breathing is fairly even, the count of the inhale to the exhale. So allow everything to be at the same pace. All the bits that you feel you're witnessing weakness, meet the weakness, meet that impression of your own weakness with love. We're meeting all of our challenges with love. So you're in your own self-practice of that simple, slow sequence. Let's stay in our child's pose now. We'll point through the toes and we'll soften the child's pose so it's not so active. We'll just soften down for a moment and let the shoulders relax. Moving through those positions so slowly is very challenging to begin with. We forget how challenging holding our own body weight can be. And let's do some twists next. So we'll do the hover twists. Bring yourself into hands and knees. Bring your right hand up towards the sky and then hover down through the gap. Just pausing just before the shoulder lands. Inhale, reaching up and only going so far as it feels good. Not starting to feel pinchy or strained anywhere. We'll do a few more of those hover twists. Both arms are benefiting from this approach to the twist in different ways. The left arm is benefiting with stability. It's able to stabilize the descent slowly. And then the right shoulder and right arm is gaining some mobility. Let's stay this time. So we'll go through and then stay, a couple of breaths. And we don't need to push too far or do too much. Breathe deep and slow. Last breath here in this twist. Now let's push back up and give ourselves a little wag of our tail, a little wiggle in the middle, and we'll start the other side hover twist. Lift the left arm up, smooth and slow descent. Stop before you feel any strain. Just a little bit of challenge, no strain. Inhale, floating up, moving smoothly. That's the objective. Slow and smooth. Do 2 more. You're at your second last round. We're going to land on the next one. So the next time you lift your arm up and scoop all the way through, land and breathe. So favor the breathing and the space that the breathing takes up rather than the stretching. So get yourself nice and comfortable so that you can breathe, that you can enjoy the breathing here. No use going so far that you feel strained or pinched. We'll take one last breath here. And then we'll push back through our right hand, coming back into the center, have a little wiggle in the middle. And let's keep going with our slow, smooth sun salutation build up. So we're tucking with the toes, active child's pose. So we're going to just add to the sequence slightly now. So active child's pose, nice and spread through the hands, lengthen through the arms, broaden through the shoulders. Just take 2 breaths in this position. Broaden the back body as we inhale. Exhale, just feel as though you're connected between the pubic bone and the sternum. Get a little mula bandha energy there. Inhale, broaden through the chest. Exhale, connect the pubic bone towards the sternum, just lifting in and up. And then let's move and breathe. Inhale, half plank. Exhale slowly to the floor. Inhale, cobra, point through the toes. Exhale, down dog, tuck toes, lift knees. All right, so inhale, full or half plank now. Exhale, slowly down with control into the cobra. Slowly unfold the cobra, slowly back to down dog. Enjoy all of the movements. Enjoy the movement forwards to the full or half plank. Enjoy the movement as you descend towards the floor smoothly. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale back to the down dog. You can do it with your eyes closed. Smooth, slow movement. Inhale, full or half cobra. Exhale slowly down. Inhale. Cobra doesn't have to be big. Exhale, down dog. One more round. Inhale, full or half plank. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Let's stay in down dog now. All right, so spread the fingers, broaden the shoulders, 3 breaths. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale, taking breaks if you're not interested in pushing yourself too far today. Inhale, 3. Exhale here. Let's walk forwards. Inhale to the half left. And then let's fold down and stay a few breaths. So wrap your arms around the back of the legs, release your head and neck, really dangling your head. You can rock yourself a little from side to side. Decompress the neck. Allow the spine to hang as much as you can, as much as you feel that is safe. All right, coming all the way up. So inhale, standing all the way up, lift the hands, lift the gaze. And then come into Samasthiti. Let's weave Kapalabhati breathing in between rounds of sun salutation. So let's use Kapalabhati breathing as a slow pump. Usually we go fairly fast. We're going to go slowly and pump the Kapalabhati breathing. And so just standing for a moment and going slightly slower. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach up, inhale, and hold the breath. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold down, exhale. Hold the breath out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and stand up. And then we'll do a slow-mo sun salutation. So we'll feel the shock in the body after the Kapalabhati, and let's move slowly and smoothly through the sun salute. Okay, inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, we fold down. Slow the movements down. Into the half lift. Step back plank, right foot, left foot maybe. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly lowering down with control. You can go to half plank if you need to. Inhale into the cobra. Exhale, down dog, 3 slow breaths. So usually we do a count of about 4. This is more like a count of 6. So inhaling about 5 or 6 beats, and exhaling for about 5 or 6 beats. We're slowing everything down today. The last breath here in the down dog. Walking forwards into the half lift. Exhale, folding down into the forward bend. You can bring your hands around the back of the legs. Inhale all the way up, lift the hands, lift the gaze. Samasthiti for the second round of Kapalabhati breathing in a very, very slow fashion. So we want about 40 pulses maybe of the very slow pump Kapalabhati. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. Inhale and hold the breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold down. Exhale. Holding up for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax belly. Inhale, stand up. Sun salutation A again. Inhale, the arms come up slowly, smoothly. You can close your eyes. Exhale, folding down, taking enough time to really enjoy the movement, the breathing into the half lift. Step left foot, right foot plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly down. Unfold the cobra slowly. Back to down dog. 3 slow breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. If it's all going too slow for you, you can take extra breaths. Inhale 3. Exhale. Walking forwards to the half lift. Unfold the half lift slowly. Exhale, folding down slowly. Smooth your action out. Inhale all the way up. It's going to take you ages to get it because you're moving so slowly. And exhale back to Samasthiti. All right, one last round of 40 pulse Kapalabhati. And I realized that Zoom doesn't hold the sound of my breath. As soon as I repeat the Kapalabhati, it probably zones out. The sound doesn't stay. So it's going slow. It's a slow little punch. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach the arms up and pause, holding the breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, out, all the air out. Holding out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, stand up. All right, we'll do one round of very slow-mo sun salutation B. You can take blocks if you want them. Slow-mo sun salutation B. So a count of 5 or 6. Okay, slowly find your chair pose. Slowly coming into the chair pose. And then folding slowly into the forward bend. Release the head and neck. Slowly uncurl into the half lift. Right foot, left foot plank. Inhale, plank. Slowly down. You can go to half plank if you need to. Into cobra, and then maybe up into the up dog, lifting off the thighs. Up and over to the down dog. Lift your right heel straight up. We'll do 3 breaths in 3-legged dog with the toes face down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale here. Slowly move towards high lunge, right knee into the chest, foot lands slowly onto the ground. Move it forwards if you didn't make it. Bend the front knee, lift up into high lunge. And we're going to bring the hands together, bend our elbows, and pull the elbows and the hands back in space. So pulling straight back in space. Couple of breaths here in the high lunge with the hands pulled backwards. Slow down the breath. Last breath here with the shoulder opener. Let's go into the arrowhead, unfold the hands slowly down, tip slowly forwards. If you're feeling very strong, reach your arms forwards. If you're not feeling strong today, reach the hands back. We're slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. Slowly breathing in and out. Take one last slow breath here. And then go to plank. Hands down, foot back, plank. Slow breath in, plank. Slowly lowering down all the way down to the floor. Into cobra, and then perhaps the up dog. Inhale. Slowly back through to down dog. 3 breaths with the left heel lifted. So we're using the slow-mo approach to feel this incredible stamina. When we go so fast, sometimes we are going at a panting speed. We never really meet our stamina, so we really want to meet the strength. Last slow-mo inhale. Lift the heel a little higher, maybe. Exhale. All right, slow-mo, step the left foot forwards. We're going into the high lunge. See how slowly you can maybe manage getting the foot forwards. And then lifting up. Take the hands together. Bend the elbows. Pull the fingertips back. So you're in a little arch in the spine and you're in a shoulder opener. It's a very active shoulder opener here. Slowly breathing, no rushing. If we're pushing you too far for your practice today, for your practice needs, do a little less. You can just bring your hands onto the hips maybe in this one. Okay, arrowhead, lengthen your arms, bring them down, tip yourself forwards. If you're feeling strong, reach your arms out. 3 slow breaths. Slowly inhale. Slowly exhale. Controlling your breathing. Last breath here, last inhale. And then slowly back to plank, exhale. Inhale, plank. Slowly down to the floor. Slowly unfold the cobra, maybe up dog. And slowly move down, back to down dog. Okay, 3 slow breaths. Spread your fingers, lengthen your arms, lengthen your legs. You can feel the broadening of your back body as you inhale, perhaps connecting from the pubic bone to the sternum on the exhale. You'll be tempted to speed up the breathing. Let's resist the temptation to breathe faster. All right, walking forwards into the half lift. And then folding down into the forward bend. You can take your hands to the backs of the legs and release your head and neck. Chair pose, bending the knees, slowly lifting the hands, slow mo. And then standing back up. Just give ourselves a pause. Just standing, we can thump into our heels a few times. We can shake a little bit as well. Just calm ourselves down after we've kind of been in a jail of slow-mo. All right, we'll just do one more round of that type of thing, and then we'll do some standing poses. So one more round, instead of the high lunge, arrowhead, we're going to go high lunge, arrowhead, warrior 3. If you need blocks, grab your blocks now, because warrior 3 might be dependent on blocks. Otherwise, we're just going to float there for ages. This will be the last torturously slow round. Okay, ready, and coming into the chair slowly. It's like we've taken a video and just taken it as half time. And it won't be half, it's just a beat slower than usual. Into the half lift. Left foot, right foot plank. And then inhale, plank. And then slowly down into a cobra, then maybe up dog. And then up and over to the down dog. Let's lift the right heel up and then open the hip this time, so you can really do a kind of a down dog split. So you can open the hip this time, but then spin the chest so that the chest is square to the mat, because you'll tend to open the chest as well. So square up the chest and then lift the toes. We've got 2 more breaths here. All right, so the right foot slowly coming forwards. We're going to come up to the high lunge. Go through arrowhead. And then slowly lift off the back foot. 3 slow breaths, warrior 3. 1. Exhale. If you need your fingers on the floor, you can take them, or on the blocks. If you need a break, you can take it. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale here. Okay, inhale back to the crescent lunge, to the high lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale back to plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly down. Cobra, maybe the up dog. And then up and over to the down dog. So let's lift the left foot, but lift and open the hip as well. So you can point through your toes in this one. So it's much more open hipped, but then swivel the chest and the shoulders back so the armpits are evenly kind of lifted off the floor. So you're not lifting the left armpit a little higher. Not speeding up the breath. We'll do one last breath here. All right, slowly bring the left foot in between the hands as slow as you can. Might be fairly humbling. All the way up to the high lunge. Arrowhead. Start to take your weight off the back foot slowly, 3 breaths. You don't have to stay if it doesn't feel safe or productive. Inhale 2. Three. Inhale back to high lunge, slowly landing on the back foot and lifting the arms. Slowly back to plank position, foot comes back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lowering. Into cobra, perhaps the up dog. And let's take a breather in child's pose, and we'll just let ourselves soften now. We'll break the spell of the slow practice. Hopefully that slow motion practice has really prepped all of the kind of deep structural strength, the deep stamina. I'm going to do the active version of some of our favorite top 10 world's most favorite yoga poses. We'll do triangle and side angle, twisted side angle. So let's come into down dog and we'll go from down dog to triangle pose. So if you need a block, grab a block. Otherwise, lift your right foot up towards the sky. We can speed it up slightly. We don't have to go too fast. Right foot in between the hands. Back foot swivels down. Take your first 2 fingers around the big toe and then lift up. And if the big toe feels too low, take your hand onto the ankle or even onto the shin. Wherever you are, we're about to float out of the triangle pose into the active triangle pose. So charge through your right leg and see if you can float off your right hand and just bring it in front of your calf muscle. We've got 3 slightly faster breaths now. Exhale here. Inhale 2. Exhale here. You can lean on your leg if you need to. Inhale here. Exhale. Okay, come up. You can inhale up. You can even soften the knee so you've got a little bit of a warrior 2. So you can dive back onto your hands and back into our down dog and give yourself a little walk out and a little wiggle. Lift the left foot up. Left foot in between the hands, back heel swivels down. Take the big toe base or hand onto the ankle or the shin, open into a triangle pose that seems safe, productive, fun, and then float off the hand that's on the bottom. So not too slow breathing. The active version of the triangle pose is pretty heavy. Let's do 2 more breaths. Really meeting the power and the strength in the body today. Last breath here. Lifting up on the inhale. You can lift up into a soft warrior so that we can dive onto our hands, step back into down dog and flush that out of the leg. All right, we're going to do the same type of approach for side angle pose, and you might want blocks for these positions. Okay, lift the right foot up, right foot in between the hands, back foot square. You can either leave your fingertips onto the floor as you bend your right knee, reach your left arm up and over, or bring your elbow onto your knee, wherever you feel it is safe, fun, productive. We're about to make it the active version. So wherever you are, you might have gone too low, and it might be that you can't handle the weight of the body. So coming up as much as you need to, and then lift off the bottom arm for the 3 breaths. 1. 2. If it feels unsafe, just lean on the leg. 3. Exhale here. Inhale, float back up into a warrior 2 type of position, and then down onto the hands. Foot comes back, we're in down dog. Flush that out of the legs. Let's do Parsvakonasana on the other side. So lift the left foot up, left foot in between the hands. Swivel the back foot. The hand can stay on the mat, or elbow onto the knee. Establish the position, and then lift up and out of the bottom hand, and only staying for as long as you feel safe. Breathe slowly. We've got 2 more breaths. Last breath here. Inhale, just floating up into a warrior 2. So you can dive onto your hands and off the front foot. We're in our down dog. Flush that out. All right, last standing posture. Twisted side angle. Lift the right foot up. Right foot in between the hands. Back knee down. Hook. Spin the lungs, and as fast as you can, lengthen the back leg, and then start the breath. Charging up through the back leg. No, don't speed the breath up just because you're in a twist, even though it's more difficult to slow the breath down here. All right, can we come out of this into a warrior 2? So you're going to spin out of that into the warrior 2. Dive down onto your hands into the down dog. Then 1 knee at a time. Lift the left foot up. Left foot in between the hands. Back knee can come down. Hook your elbow over. Spin the lungs, lengthen the back leg, and then go back to slow breathing. Let's take 1 last slow breath here. And so we're going to spin out of this one into warrior 2. So unhook, bring yourself out into warrior 2. And then dive onto the hands, down dog, flush that out. All right, let's come onto our knees, spin the feet to the front. We'll do a little bit of hip flexor work, hip flexor action. So bend the knees, flex the feet, lift the chest, lift the hands, lift your right heel, and stay here for a moment. Last breath here. So heel, right heel comes down, hands onto the knees. Just give yourself a little cat-cow, a little smooth arch and curl. We'll do the other side. So Sit up nice and tall, lift the hands off the legs, lift the left heel. And then the left heel can come down, cat-cow, just arching and then curling. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of hip mobility work now. So take the right foot, tuck it under. So the right knee is kind of in line with the right side. If the hand was down, it would be the right hand. And now lift the left heel off the ground. Slowly bring it around the back. You're going into a slow-mo version of the one-legged pigeon. Land onto your elbows and then come back. So slowly bring the back leg around. So the heel touches, touch the heel, and then back around. So you can touch your elbows into one-legged pigeon. So whatever you need to do to adapt to this very slow hip mobility drill. So you're touching the heel and then you're coming around to touch the elbows. Okay, let's soften into one-legged pigeon just to give ourselves a break from all of the action. Soften your face, soften your throat. Enjoying a little bit of space in the left front hip. And then we're going to slowly come back around the front. So lift off your elbows, lift off the back leg, slowly bring it around to the front. Hook the left foot over. We'll do Ardha Matsyendrasana twist. So hug the arm around the front. And so these stretches will release some of the work that we've discovered in the hips by moving so slowly. Enjoy the space that you're creating around the joints. Enjoy the smooth, slow breath. And then we'll come out of this position. We'll just unhook and we'll do a little cat-cow from the center. So we're not going back into a vinyasa. We're just coming back to seated. Arch and curl. Arch and curl. All right, so the left foot is going to come under. So the left knee comes towards the mat. And then we're going to do the slow-mo leg coming forwards and backwards. And so the heel touches, and then you come around, and then the elbows touch when you get into one-legged pigeon. And then you start again to come around to the front. The heel touches, and then you come around, leaning to the side as much as you need to, and then land on your elbows, soften for a moment, and then start the journey back. This work can show us where weaknesses and also injury points are. So we don't need to push ourselves too far. We're just enjoying a little bit of control. Last one, touch the heel, and then we'll stay in one-legged pigeon and enjoy the stretch. So ease yourself into one-legged pigeon and then soften and rest. And then we're going to come up and around again. So lift off your elbows, bring the foot slowly to the front. Hook the foot over the knee. Ardha Matsyendrasana twist. Hug the knee into the chest and develop your twist. Keep the breath smooth and slow. I'm sharing a slow-mo practice because it's what I did myself in my practice this morning. And it gives us time to feel. It gives us time to feel the stamina. It gives us time to feel the actual muscles engaging. It gives us time to think. It gives us time. So we're kind of slowly arriving to all of the different positions, revealing our deep stamina to ourselves. And then we'll come out of there, unhook yourself, come back into flexed feet, cat-cow, so we'll arch in the spine, and then we'll pull. And so we'll do one last power position. We'll do you can do your headstand against the wall or handstand or whatever, or you're going to go slow-mo between dolphin and elbow plank. And so very slow action teaches us so much about the strength in the shoulders. So come into, if you can follow me, if you're going to self-practice, go right ahead. Otherwise, we're going to do a dolphin pose. Establish the strength as you kind of push straight up. And then we're going to slowly go back to the elbow plank. So find that any patterns or habits of collapse, you're catching yourself in the patterns. So developing the elbow plank and hovering there for a bit. And then moving slowly back to the dolphin pose, maybe walking your feet a little bit further forwards, discovering the push straight up and over your head strength. Not forgetting that you can push as much into your hands and wrists as you do into your shoulders. And then we'll slowly go back into the elbow plank, walking feet back. No rush to come forward so that you're looking down at your thumbs maybe. Hover there for a few breaths or for a good while, really discovering what it takes in the shoulders to hover here. We're going to do one more of these if you're following me. And slowly coming back into the dolphin, the push up and over your head. And then last, elbow plank, hovering for a moment, really feeling the pushing into the hands and the wrists. And then let's bring the knees down and uncurl ourselves right onto our bellies and into crocodile, which just means lying flat on your belly and resting. Taking a few moments to enjoy the support of the ground, so enjoy the connection between the earth and your chest. How lovely it is to be able to breathe against the planet. The reference of the planet, which is a reference that we've used our whole lives. We've used it for a sense of connection, a sense of safety, a sense of home, at home in the gravitational field, at home in the weight of the body on the ground, at home in the movement of the breathing. We can turn our head into the other direction just to even up the twist in the neck. And so another few moments just lying on the belly. And then let's heel up and off the floor. We'll finish with a seated position and just a little mudra meditation. So maybe sitting onto a block, however you feel like sitting up today. We'll use Ganesha Mudra. So it doesn't matter how you turn your hands. You can turn your hands in either direction. You're just hooking the fingertips into each other, like a little belt clasp. And then soften the shoulders, pulling out, but just so gently, just a gentle, gentle pull. We don't want too much activity around the shoulders nor underneath the shoulder blades. We just want a little bit of tug, but just so that we feel connected. And we'll feel the Ganesha Mudra as a way of recognizing that sometimes the obstacles that stand in our path are imaginary, but our imagination, our worldview, it matters. It's as real as anything is real to us. But maybe creating a bit of a vow to get out of your own way, to remove the obstacles in your path, whether real or imagined. Just imagine that the path is clear. Imagine the path being clear, and then what would you do? Sometimes we're so bound up with all of the reasons that we can't. We're not even sure anymore what we would do if we had our own way, if we had all the things. And then, my darling, what would you do? It's best to imagine and to fathom. What would you do if you could? It's incredible how difficult that question is. Okay, release your arms, give yourself a little swing. Take the thumb to touch the little finger and the third finger, the ring finger, and then point the fingertips up to the sky. This is a gesture of power, a gesture of strength, a gesture of courage, a gesture of fearlessness. And so asking ourselves, well, if there were no obstacles, what would I do? It's the same question in that Mary Oliver poem. What are you going to do with this wild and precious life? The same question that we like to play with when we say, what would you do if you won the lotto? What are your dreams? What do you want? And then we'll just let our hands rest into our lap, and we'll just take the first finger and the thumb, the pointer finger and the thumb to touch. So we're nice and restful in the shoulders now. We might as well seal off this type of practice with imagining that there are no obstacles. Imagining that you can get what you want, that you can achieve your dreams, that you can manifest, that you can create, that you have that can-do type of mindset. And I don't want to be too preachy, coachy about it, but this is an age-old teaching, and with the age-old prayer to Ganapati, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So we're just acknowledging the force that is the remover of obstacles, the force that is that can-do attitude, that mindset of I probably can. Let's do the ancient mantra of Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 One more. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And you might sit for a few moments, just integrating these teachings of possibility, the teachings of having a clear path and clear prayers, clear missions, clear objectives. Having faith and focus. And as we do some faith and focus practice, even if you're not sure of what you want, then maybe asking for the power and for the fearlessness and for the courage and for the sense of clarity. What do you want? I want clarity. I want clarity enough to know what I want to do with my life, this wild and precious, singular lifetime. So you're asking for clarity. Or you're asking for courage. Get the simple stuff and make it clear so that you can have a practice of faith in yourself, in the world, and focusing on what you're trying to do. Take single steps, and then the path becomes clear. We'll have the energy for the next step when we get there. This is a life of taking single steps. And so I'll leave you to decide whether you'd like to go down into a relaxation or stay and enjoy a little bit more of meditation. It's always nice to stay a few minutes after the Zoom room closes, after the sense of the others, they disappear, and you're just you, but you with a heart full of courage. That's at least my hope. That when the Zoom room closes, when the guidance disappears, when the community disappears, that you feel whole, faithful, fearless, focused. That you feel at least proud that you got on the mat, that you feel happy that you took the step of getting on the mat, of joining the practice, of having a moment, of meeting your stamina. It's a big step. It's a pleasure to share with you as always. Namaste.